Hello to my fellow adult services librarians. My name is Julianne Fideli, and today I'll be presenting you with the information behaviors of LGBTQIA plus adults, the path to accessibility and understanding. Below are the information behaviors of LGBTQIA plus adults and the challenges encountered in their search to satisfy their specific information needs. Issues such as limited access to information, fear of judgment when searching for information, and the importance of community will be explored and discussed. I'll also briefly touch upon Chapman's Life in the Round and Mellon's grounded theory to provide deeper context and understanding. Following this discussion, I will outline potential library services that can bridge gaps in accessibility to LGBTQIA plus resources, as well as mitigate fears or anxieties experienced in information seeking. So what are the challenges experienced by LGBTQIA plus patrons? Let's first explore the issue of accessibility. Accessibility came up multiple times throughout my research, and what I found to be intriguing is that this issue isn't exclusive to just LGBTQIA plus patrons. Accessibility is also an issue for librarians. Librarians are ultimately the gatekeepers of information, and when librarians are limited in their access to information or limited in their knowledge of a particular user group, this lack of access and knowledge inevitably trickles down to their patrons. It's all very cyclical in a sense. With that said, it's pivotal that adult service librarians have proper training in the acquisition of LGBTQIA plus materials, and this means developing an understanding of LGBTQIA plus terminology and culture. As Hawkins, Morris, Nguyen, Siegel, and Bardell discussed in their 2017 study of health sciences librarianship, when LGBTQIA plus materials are not properly promoted or utilized by library staff, materials run the risk of low circulation, and ultimately this may result in the removal of said materials, which brings it all back to the issue at hand, limited access. I'd like to now briefly discuss limitations in access to information for LGBTQIA plus patrons from a geographical standpoint. LGBTQIA plus adults that reside in rural parts of the country lack exposure to pertinent literature, media, or news within their community. And this could be debilitating as users try to form and establish their identity within society. As Hardy found in their 2021 study of queer information literacies, LGBTQIA plus adults that have this geographical barrier express the importance of circulation among one another. These users take on the responsibility of educating each other to overcome the challenges of limited information. Now let's shift toward the issue of emotion. A major barrier between these users and information is the possibility of negative judgments, reactions, or responses in their attempt to seek it. As Pearson found, LGBTQIA plus adults are more apt to forego social interactions and discussions with information professionals as they fear an unfavorable response to their queries. Just as we discussed in regards to accessibility, having a well-trained staff to quell these fears and anxieties is paramount in overcoming these negative emotions. As Mellon resolves in the grounded theory, increased librarian interaction with information users is pivotal in promoting the library as a positive and safe environment for all users. Productive interactions with LGBTQIA plus information users eases anxieties and allows librarians to understand the information needs of this community. So now that we've discussed barriers, let's discuss an enabler for this information user group. Community plays a tremendous role in information seeking, and throughout my research, I found that this sense of community largely stems from online forums and social media. Over the years, the internet has become a safe haven for LGBTQIA plus adults, and in turn, it has fostered positive health information seeking practices. As Jia, Du, and Zhao found in their 2022 study of health information seeking behaviors, this is especially true for the transgender community. The internet allows for a safe exchange of health information regarding transitioning, hormones, and surgeries between peers and online support groups. Chapman's theory of life in the round, which focuses on the marginalized user group of female inmates, emphasizes the importance of community and the information network that they go on to create. For LGBTQIA plus adults, an understanding of what it means to exist within that community can only be found by immersing oneself in the LGBTQIA plus landscape, whether it be physically or digitally. Now that we've gained a greater understanding of the information behaviors of LGBTQIA plus adults, let's explore the potential services that can aid in positively supporting this user group. In a 2023 study by Jaber and Mira, support services offered by public libraries in Alabama are brought to the forefront. Keep in mind that this state has been infamous for its anti-gay views, such as Don't Say Gay, law, which restricts schools from introducing LGBTQIA plus themes into its curriculum. With that said, public libraries within the state have taken on the responsibility of acting as a safe space within an otherwise unaccepting environment. So how do they achieve this? These public libraries have employed a myriad of services to support LGBTQIA plus users, such as summer reading programs, acquiring and promoting LGBTQIA plus books, and providing community resources for LGBTQIA plus children and teens. From these suggested services, we can build upon our own library services as we try to build deeper connections with the LGBTQIA plus community. Book discussions and author talks focused on LGBTQIA plus themes and issues can provide this user group with an outlet and expressing their point of view. An additional layer to this suggested service would be assigning staff to lead these discussions. This could help in building a rapport between library staff and LGBTQIA plus patrons. We can also enlist LGBTQIA plus authors to participate and promote their works. This will allow for a positive exchange of information among the local LGBTQIA plus community. A resource provided by the Hoover Public Library in Alabama was sharing links via their website to online resources that listed noteworthy LGBTQIA plus books. Building upon this idea, if our library staff can become acquainted with LGBTQIA plus literature, they can effectively promote these books via book displays and brochures within the adult department, in turn creating an inclusive space for this user group where they will feel both heard and seen. One final recommendation would be offering community resources. This could be in the form of displaying information within the library, such as posters for local events, parades, gatherings, movie nights. This can assist LGBTQIA plus patrons in building connections with their community while also providing them with a sense of support and safety. The library can take it one step further by participating in these community events, setting up a booth at a community gathering or walking in a local parade. Getting out there and showing support within the community will establish trust between LGBTQIA plus patrons and library staff. And then this trust will allow for positive information seeking behaviors within the library where LGBTQIA plus information needs can be fully satisfied. While we continue down the path to accessibility and understanding, we must be willing to make every effort to both educate our staff and improve upon our library services in order to ensure a safe and welcoming space for our LGBTQIA plus patrons. As information professionals, it is our responsibility to provide all information users, regardless of sexual orientation, with the necessary tools and resources for successful information seeking. I thank you for listening to Information Behaviors of LGBTQIA plus Adults, the path to accessibility and understanding.